back. So we are taking this beautiful vinyl that I got from North 80. It's a store on Etsy. Now, I picked this out because I legit was like, okay, I want to do the stars and I want to do the tie-dye as like the stars and stripes. And I thought the tie-dye with the red and the white would be really, really cool. And I wanted to have kind of a very, how do you say, like a rock and roll, very like, you know, edgy kind of, because to me, that's like American. Like I love, you know, like a jean that's roughed up and, you know, tie-dyes and just, to me, that is like America. So I don't know why, but it's like the rougher the better kind of thing. And that's kind of what I wanted to go for here. So I took a piece of those stars and I had a little bit of trouble in the beginning. And so I was like, let me take this whole thing off and I will just start this. I needed to get it straight. I mean, it wasn't like a dire straight type of thing that I needed to get it, you know, to be exactly, but I wanted it to, you know, I wanted the stars to be somewhat, you know, straight and anyways, I'll stop saying straight, but sometimes you just kind of have to start over, and that's kind of what I was showing you. I was like, not everybody has a good time with these things, and sometimes, you know, things happen, So I cut off that last bit off of the, just, you know, a little square there. And what I did was I went in and cut around the stars, you know, like where they kind of went over the line. So that way we could kind of, I wasn't cutting like through stars or anything, so you hopefully wouldn't see that line cut through. You can kind of see it when you're looking up close, but it's, you know, it's not that obvious. So I thought that would be something. I've seen like Mallory and several YouTube creators doing that, where they kind of cut around the design, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try that the next time I have that opportunity, and I thought that this was the perfect opportunity. Now, I did cut it just a tiny bit on the bottom side there to make it straight, and then we went in with adding our tie-dye. So the tie-dye, I made sure that I did it long ways, you know, so that it was, you know, like stripes kind of thing. So you be aware of stuff like that when you are planning, you know, a design, when you're planning the look or whatever, you know, just make sure that you've got it to, you know, at the right, you know, the right direction or the right, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying. Anyways, so I did pop a few bubbles here, and this is a lot of what we're going to do here is just this wrap, and then we're going to wrap some double-sided tape here in a minute and do some foiling, and then that's it. I mean, like, there's really not a whole lot to this design, but I really think it's a very cool and edgy kind of American 4th of July, but it's something you could totally carry all year round. It's not so 4th of July that it's, you know, it's only for that holiday. I think it's more of like, you know, for America. So we were challenged in Mallory's group, in her Patreon group, her elite, and I, you know, it was about, you know, red, white, and blue, America. Like, what do you think America, you know, what makes you feel American? And my dad drives a Harley, and you know, has had motorcycles my whole life, and he's really into, you know, like Eagles in America, and, you know, my husband's role of military, and so it's just like anything that's like just like really powerful American, edgy and you know, in your face kind of thing is, you know, what I really like when I think of America. And so I was actually making this for myself because we're going to take a trip to Arizona to visit my father-in-law, and I wanted to have, because it's going to be over the 4th of July break, but I didn't want it to just be 4th of July the whole time. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself with this challenge that we were given, and then I'm also going to make something for myself to kind of have fun while I'm, you know, out of town and traveling. So the thing that why I cut this off, like normally I wouldn't even worry about it because we were gonna put epoxy and pinstripes and stuff like that. But this, I was going to be putting double-sided tape on it and doing foiling, so I did not want there to be any kind of like overlapping. I didn't want anything to affect the look of that foil that was going on there. I didn't know if it would, but that's why I was kind of making sure I trimmed it up. And once again, I wanted a full wrap, so I pulled and pulled and pulled. And this vinyl is such good quality. I absolutely love her vinyl. All her designs are phenomenal. They are one of a kind. Absolutely love it. I suggest 10 out of 10 would recommend her shop. I will definitely link everything down below. Check all of her stuff out and go and buy today because they're gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous vinyl. So then I took double-sided tape and I put that around the middle there and then released the double-sided tape. Now, I have this foil from Artistic Painting Studios, and I have a link down below that they sent me some really awesome new foils, and I love them. Now, I can't take credit for this, technique because Dixie Darlings, Kelly Norris with Dixie Darlings, she did this double-sided tape with the foils, and it is like, boom, it is ingenious. It's the easiest way. You don't have to use any glue, nothing. You just put the tape on there and bam, the foil comes off. I just went around and kind of touched up some of the pieces that, it just sometimes the foil just doesn't stick, or maybe there was a bend in the tape or whatever. But I just went by and just kind of made sure that all of them were, that any of the little specks. And this is like a snake skin, and I love snakes. I love snakes. I know a lot of people are terrified of them, but I hate bugs and roaches and stuff, but lizards and snakes and stuff I love. So I was totally down for putting snake skin on here. I thought it was going to be very rock and roll, and the double-sided tape technique is like, it is the easiest thing that you could possibly do. And I did that all in one sitting. I wrapped it in the two vinyls. I wrapped the double-sided tape around. I put the foil on, and that was it. I went straight into a coat of epoxy. I did not do any sealing. Nothing needs to be sealed. I did get a few little flakes from the foil. Now, I don't know if I would have sealed it, I wouldn't have got that, or if that was just inevitable because of it being foil, but it really honestly did not affect this look because it was so distressed and kind of aged looking and everything, so it didn't bother me at all. But if that was something that might affect your look, or if you were going for something a little more clean and streamlined, maybe you could take it outside and spray seal it or something like that. I did put Mod Podge on another foil that I did, and it worked fine. Not to apply it, but to cover it up and seal it. So I had a hard time. I had all four of those little things there, and I could see every single one of them working with the design. It was like, I was just like, I kind of like the lightning bolts and the mama and I love the butterfly, and I thought that was really, kind of like a hippie type look to it. And the lips, I wasn't like sold on the lips, but I did like them, and I had the hardest time. I cut this on my printable vinyl, and it was a mess. It cut straight through. I had to piece this thing together and put all the little pieces back together. So it is definitely for me. If this was for a customer, I would have definitely just started all over and cut this out again, because I had to piece every little A and the M and the, all of American, I had to kind of put together and put it on there. So I would say, if you have a new blade like I do, and I got a little bit thinner print and cut vinyl than I normally do, and so I would just say less pressure on your Cricut, maybe. But anyways, I got it all on there. It took me a little bit. It was a process. It was a puzzle. But I was able to finally get it on there, and I need to have my roots done because, my God, my hair, and here I am getting all in the mess. Anyways, we're going to skip over this part because I just put it all back together and everything was fine. So I finally got everything put on there and the best I could. And like I said, this is for me. So, but I just wanted to show y'all these really cool designs. Then this just really cool, you know, American, you know, rock and roll type style here. And I really love the way that it turned out. I didn't want to put anything else. I didn't want to put name or anything like that. I wanted to keep it real simple, but I did end up, I do have the video of me holding the cup like I normally do, but I had to put one more final coat, and I went in with some glitter in the epoxy because, you know, why not? And there she is. Oh, I just love it. It is very cool. It reads totally like me, very bohemian. I love the snake skin. I just love everything about it. North 80, please go check her out. Everything is linked down below. I hope you can all recreate this or any kind of design like this using that double-sided tape with the foil. Check out Artistic Painting Studio. I have that link down below as well. They have a monthly foil. Oh my gosh, I love it. Join my group. Click subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you next time.